Warning: the following podcast contains sensitive material not suitable for all audiences. Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
Hey everybody, Dale Raper here with Happy Hollow Outdoors on the Bull Mountain Podcast. Today our guest is Tony Rodgers. Tony, it's good to have you.
Nice to be here.
Been a long time since me and Tony has spoke. I don't know. I remember you from first grade, I know.
Yeah.
So anyway, we went to school together when we was little. But Tony, start out telling us a little bit about yourself, where you from, your family, and all that good stuff.
I'm from Alabama. Been here 42 years. My family, they all live here. I got all my kids. I got 4 kids, wife. Just trying to make ends meet. That's about the extent of it right there.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask you. Dustin won't know where y'all met. Dustin probably don't remember where y'all met. That's why he put that question down there.
But we met at Tiffin's, and I think we were just on break one day, and I come in and he's saying something, and I said something funny, and he just come over and was where it hit it off.
Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty good a guy.
But Dustin, of course, he's one came up with your name to have on here. You got a pretty interesting story. There's a few things we want to talk about before we get to that. But so your interest in riding?
Yeah.
When did that start?
Oh, it started at a young childhood. Yeah, I started on bikes, anything like that. Then I wanted motors.
Yeah.
It didn't matter what it was. Go-karts, fast, anything goes fast.
You just liked it.
So I loved it.
Had a draw to you automatically.
Started working at Thunderhill Raceway.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was a push truck and the wrecker operator. So any wrecks happen, man, I went for it.
Yeah.
I was the first one on the spot because I was ready to go.
Instead of being Johnny on the spot,
Yes.
it's Tony on the spot,
Yeah.
wasn't it? But, so did you live up there for a little while?
No, we drove. I lived down here on 11 where I've always lived.
Yeah.
And I'd work Friday and Saturdays. And because I'd met a couple boys that worked at Tiffin's back 2007. And that's where their dad owned Thunderhill Raceway.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
So they worked Thursday and Friday and Saturday. And we got paid each night.
Yeah.
So they was like, hey man, you want to join in? I said, yeah, I'm very interested in that. Let's do this. So about that time, it was 4th of July happened. They had a 500 car, 200 laps.
Man.
My brother, that was his first time he had ever went. And I told him, I said, you ride with me. So he had never been in a push truck. We had to pack the track down, and it was like a fishbowl.
Right.
I mean, you went off one edge, you flew, and that's it. So we're sitting there, and he's like, man, that's a lot of cars. I said, yeah. And it ain't but maybe 100 yards per hour.
Right.
So we're standing in the back of the truck, and I had my walkie on, and I told Brandon, I said, look, you're going to have to plug your ears up, man, because they fix to say, start your engines. And I said, it's going to get loud. Oh, it ain't going to be that bad. Well, they said, start your engines. And boy, he threw them hands up. And I was like, I told you. I said, look at your shoes. He said, what? He looked down and his shoestrings was vibrating. Well, first 2 laps went around, pretty good. 3rd lap goes around, I hear something over the radio. I said, what was that again? And they said, get down. About that time, one of the tires had come off of the truck, off of the cars, and rolled and hit the back end of the truck. And me and Brandon in the back of it. And he said, man, that was the most fun I had. He said, but out of 200 laps, there was 15 cars that ended that.
Yeah.
And the rest of them wrecked. So that was one heck of a busy night.
Yeah. So we're leading up to the pivotal moment in your life, this story that Dustin, it struck his interest so much,
Yeah.
where you believe you actually died. So take us back to the beginning of that day.
I don't believe it. I know it.
Yeah.
We'd been drinking at work when at Baymont. We'd been drinking since 7 o'clock that morning.
Yeah.
And I didn't stop till 7 o'clock that evening when that wreck happened. It ended up being like 35 beers, fifth of Jack, and we was on four-wheelers. We rode all day long. And it was me, Dustin Harrison, and Adam Kay, and Byron Leftwich. If they wouldn't have been there, I wouldn't have made it today.
Yeah.
Because it's because of them I'm here. But we was on our way home, and I'd passed them before I got to that bridge right across from Highway 4 in Dennis.
Yeah.
That's where that truck place is up on the left. New bridge, concrete, all. Well, I didn't know it was coming up. And Adam and them had noticed something that I didn't. And when I flew by them, and they was yelling, hollering, trying to get my attention. But when I come around that curve to get onto that bridge, my back left tire had slid because it had a nail in it. It was flat, so it didn't catch no grip at all.
Yeah.
And it slid into the guardrail, and the four-wheeler went up on the rail, and it caught my arm on the concrete guardrail and slung me over 40 feet. I went through some trees. I ended up rolling down, and my head was 18 inches away from railroad track. I had a stick going in my mouth and out my eye socket. I broke my neck, my back, everything in my waist, shattered the whole left side of my face. Had reconstructive surgery on that. Well, when they got me to the hospital, they shot me like 3 or 4 times on the way to Tupelo from Dennis on a helicopter. Because they had to stop traffic and park in the middle of the road on 25, because it's as close as they could get.
Yeah.
But they were all out there. One of my buddies worked for the ambulance service. He didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
He said, you had no color at all. You were completely just like purple.
Yeah.
Nothing. You were lifeless. He said, and when he got to looking around, he noticed some people he knew. And he's like, man, who is this? And he said, you don't know that's Tony? And he had to stop working on me because that hit him so hard.
Yeah.
He said it did not look like me. And they shot me 3 or 4 times going to the hospital. When they got me in the hospital room, they were operating and all this. Well, I guess they couldn't do nothing. Well, they called my mom, my brother in there. Well, my brother was, sorry.
Just take your time.
My brother comes in there, and after they said that they couldn't revive me, they were sitting there, and he was texting my dad. He was on his way up there. He said he didn't make it. Said it was at the corner of his eye. He noticed something moving. He said they were unhooking the machines. But he said he almost dropped his phone, but he took a picture. And he showed me when I come back. He said, I want to show you this. He said, but he said, it's going to hit you hard. And when I looked at it, he said, in that picture, you're dead. He said, but you're reaching for that light. And then he said, you opened your eyes like you was in no pain at all. And you turned your head, you hear it cracking. And he said, you looked at me and Mama and you said, I seen Papa. He said, it wasn't my time yet. Well, he said, as soon as you turned your head back straight and you closed your eyes, he said, you come alive. He said, they had to strap you down He said, and you were still stretching them straps, telling them that you were going to kill them if you got a hold of them. Because I was so mad that I'd finally seen the person I'd missed for so long. And that was within a finger touch, like almost.
Yeah.
And then back
Then
where I was
gone.
at,
Yeah.
man, I wasn't ready. I had so many things I wanted to say. But I know I'll get to see him again someday. And I'm put back here for a reason.
You
I don't know what it is, but I wish her would show it.
You know, God's timing's always perfect, but it ain't always easy to understand, you know.
It ain't.
But
He's got a plan for everything, and this, I don't know. I've tried to figure it out myself, but it's just hard.
yeah,
When everything keeps just shoving you down, and you don't know what else to do.
right.
Okay.
Lean on him's all we can do, you know.
Yeah. There's only one maker, and we're all going to meet him.
Every one of us gonna bow before him, you know. I mean,
Ain't no 500 different
we're
gods out there. There's only one.
we're gonna have to answer for ourselves and ourselves alone.
And if you're not comfortable with yourself now, do something wrong. I mean do something right. Change it.
Yeah.
That's it.
You know, as husbands and fathers, we got a little more accountability on us, you know.
You try to protect them as much as you can.
That's right. You know, we've got to do our
You go
job.
to the end of the earth just to make sure they've got it.
Yeah.
Teach them everything you know. Because we know now that they're not teaching them what they used to teach us.
Right.
Because if you look at the generations of kids nowadays, they don't work like we do.
No.
But if you find one that does work like that, like the one I work with, she's 16-year-old, but man, that girl has got one of the best work ethics I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to have her as an employee.
Probably has some old school parents.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
daughter, McKenna.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, she comes in, she does her job, she does it right, and she does it quick. She likes to get in there, get her job done, and go home.
Yeah.
But she has something to pay for. You can't ask for no more than that.
Yeah.
So you take care of somebody like that.
Tony, we got to take a short break. Folks, we'll be back just in a few minutes.
Make your next DIY project a success with a little help from Tiffin Supply. For 75 years, our hardware store has served the community of Red Bay and surrounding areas with premium lumber products, including treated lumber, siding, concrete blocks, and home appliances, including a large selection of windows in a wide range of sizes, all at affordable prices. Now, in our third generation, we continue to have a knowledgeable and friendly sales staff who are eager to assist you with anything you need. We can select hard-to-find items, match paints, and special order customized doors for you. At Tiffin Supply, you get personalized service you can't find anywhere else. We are open Monday through Friday, 6:30 a.m. till 4 p.m. Come by or call us today at 256-356-4946. Also visit us online at www.tiffinsupply.com.
Hey everybody, Dale Raper back here on the Bull Mountain Podcast, brought to you by Happy Hollow Outdoors. Still got Tony sitting here. Tony, he shared with us his experience that he had from his four-wheeler accident. Tony, how would you say that's changed your life?
Quit drinking.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, that right there it woke me up. Because I was like, well, if I keep doing this, I'm not going to get to see him.
Right.
But that's what I want. I want to see him again. I didn't get no time with him. Like, it was just, for me, it was like a split second.
Yeah.
But I was asked by my sister, did you recognize him? Did you know that's who it was? How can you not? You don't forget that face. You don't forget that. I had that smell. Like, he wore this kind of cologne, and it was just like, when I come to, it's what I smell. I still smell it sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, if you take a scent, you have a scent, like cigar burner, something like that. But his was that cologne. And that's what made me go to sleep, is when I'd be wrapped around his neck. It was just like,
Just soothing.
I knew I was comfortable.
Yeah.
I knew I was where I felt safe.
Yeah.
Man, and he done good by me. I mean, just by being there for me for as short a time he did. I mean, that was when I first started to cut grass by myself.
Yeah.
7-year-old. He come in one day on summer and said, hey, come here, I want to show you something. Like, all right. He loved golf. That's why I got to golf at. He come out and he said, now, I want you to look. I looked and all I seen was flags everywhere. 18 holes he put in that yard.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He said, now, before you start playing, you got to cut this grass if you want to play. Like, okay. Yeah, I will. He didn't have a lawnmower that had well, he did. It was like an old snapper.
Yeah.
But that's what I wasn't using that. He wasn't going to let me use that. That's his baby. So he gave me the one without a motor.
Yeah.
It just has them little tines on it. You got to sharpen them by yourself.
Yeah.
Only cuts one length and that's it. And I cut that every week until I started hitting holes in ones. From the furthest one, from the door all the way to the ditch bank.
Yeah.
He said, well, it's time to pull it up. Getting too good. But that's how that we played that every day in summer. Just me and him. And the way we said hello to each other was flipping the bird at each other.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was the last thing I remember before I woke up that next morning and woke up by my grandmother saying he was gone. I was the second one to see him laid on that floor.
What's your grandpa's name?
Billy Spencer, Charles Billy Spencer. And him and Nellie Spencer. That was my life.
Yeah.
They were good to me. I stayed with them for a lot. Oh, yeah, he would have plainly told you, look, you get married, that means you're bonded to that woman.
Yeah.
It don't matter. If you don't like them, you don't have to like them. Look at me and your grandma. We sleep in separate rooms. And they did as long as I've known them.
Yeah.
I've never seen them sleep in the same room. And that was almost 16 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah. When you're married, you bond to that woman. You don't do nothing like that.
Right.
You stay with it. You go through thick and thin, it don't matter. That's what that means. Till death do you part.
Yep.
And I'm a firm believer in that. I went through one divorce, but that was just another different thing, but she's gone. That's what drugs will do to you.
Yeah.
But now they're my kids. They only have me. So I got to step up. But I don't understand how some people can be like that, though.
You know, it's sometimes, like with your experience, it's hard to, I don't know how to word that. It's hard to believe that we've got to get drugged down that kind of road before we realize, what we need to be doing or what we shouldn't be doing or whatever.
Think of it this way: people that has never been drugged down that road, has no clue. They're clueless.
Yeah.
Like you can sit there and you can tell them over and over again, like, look, I've been there.
Right.
I'm still there. You don't understand what it's like. And they say, oh, yeah. No, you don't. You won't understand until you've been through it. Like, if you have something that you love so much that you're willing to fight for, and it just get up and ripped out from underneath you, just like that. What's that do to a person?
Yeah.
It completely breaks them down.
Yeah.
And I've been there. That man, it breaks you to where you don't even feel like a man no more. You feel like you're just a shell. And it's not a good feeling.
Not at all.
Because, you try to find every way to fix that pain.
Yeah.
And there ain't no fixing.
Do you look at death differently now?
Yes, I do. I'm not afraid of it. When it gets here, I'll be ready. Because I'm just, I'm afraid that I'll do something wrong that'll keep me from going to where I want to go.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to stay on that straight path, not veer off of it. Once I veer off, then that might be too late.
Yeah.
And then what am I going to be completely lost, because I'm not going to have what I want. The only way we'll know is when it gets here.
Yeah. If you could give advice to anybody, what would it be?
Stay true to you. Do the right things. Always do what's right and stay far from that wrong.
Yeah.
If it even comes across your mind that it's wrong, don't do it. Just completely stop. Think about it.
Where I've been before, I thought, well, it'll be all right because that's just a little bit wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it don't matter if it's just a little bit wrong.
I've done a lot
It's
wrong. In my life.
Yeah.
Wrong is wrong. It ain't no matter how you put it.
We can put it on a scale or a label or a rank or whatever.
Power.
It's wrong.
It's still wrong.
So
if you've got one doubt that it could be wrong, it's still wrong.
Yeah. If you have to second guess it,
Yeah.
there ain't no sense in questioning it then,
So I tell my kids, look, if you're sitting there and you have to ask, but it takes you a while to do the asking, think about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Just think about it. If you think in your head, well, are they going to be mad? If you're thinking that they're going to be mad, guess what? We're going to be mad. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
But see, parents aren't like they used to be. No. Not by the long shot. Because, I remember them old stations that, do you know where your kids are? Just to remind parents they had kids.
Yeah.
Because our parents told us plainly, do not come in this house till them street lights come on.
Yeah.
You don't get no water unless you get out of the water faucet, fountain, water hose, or the ditch.
Yeah.
That's where I stayed. My mom didn't know until, 8 years ago, that me and my buddies rode our bicycles from Red Bay to Russellville 3 times at 9 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't have to worry about us getting in trouble like that. Hey, we were out having a good time. They didn't have to worry about somebody pulling over, stealing us, getting them in vans, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You didn't have that problem. Now, man, there's some weird people out there.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely some, I'm going to call them freaks.
Bad.
I mean,
especially if you even thinking about being with a child like that. Okay, I feel no pity for nobody like that.
No.
Because if that happens to my family,
I could go on for.
if it happens to my family, you can hang it up.
Let's get off on something else before we both wind up getting mad.
Yeah, I was heading toward the road. I didn't want to go.
What about if you could go back and change anything, would you do it?
Yes, I would. I would change a lot, but on up to that point, no. Because from afterwards, I would change a little bit of the things I did because it took me a while. But on up till that last month of that, where I got down to the lowest part,
Yeah.
no, I wouldn't change it because
That's what's
I got
made
to see
you.
him again.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know he's out there. I know he's waiting.
Yeah.
Because if he wasn't waiting, I wouldn't have seen nobody. Because I seen that a lot. I mean, it's just like, and I felt when I had my hand out, it's like it wasn't my hand. It was small. Like I was a child.
Like a little
Man,
kid
like
again?
I was a kid. Like I was when I saw him.
Yeah.
Last time I saw him. We used to go to Vina to that old, used to be a car shop, or like a gas station right across where you go up to the school.
Yeah.
Red used to own it.
Yeah.
Man, that's where my grandfather taught me how to drive, one-handed. Because I'd drive from Red Bay to Vina. Because I would be just going down the road and he'd just go, throw them hands back, wait. I'm like, oh, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Go up there and we'd go in, there'd be old people. Now, that's something I could do as a kid. Sit around and listen to old people talk about what they used to do as kids.
Yeah.
How much fun they had. I'd go and get me a nice Dr. Pepper glass bottle out of the Coke machine, grab me a bag of peanuts, and I'd throw them off on that Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
And I would sit there all day.
Tickled to death.
Yes, I mean laughing and cutting up, but all the other kids would be outside playing.
Yeah.
I missed something. My grandpa didn't never have to worry about me wandering off when I was around him.
Yeah.
Because that's where I stayed. I mean, you've seen him, you've seen me. I hated to go to school because I was leaving him.
Yeah.
When he passed away in '96, November 10th. That's the reason why I don't like holidays. I can't stand a holiday. He passed away November 10th, right before Thanksgiving. My grandmother passed away June 30th, before the 4th of July.
Yeah.
My dad just passed away 4 years ago, July 1st.
Mm.
We buried him on the 4th of July because he loved that day. I mean, I just can't stand holidays. Because the biggest holidays out of every one of them, except for one, is Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting. Because the past, we'll say since the coronavirus hit, we've probably buried 7 to 8 people in my family.
Yeah.
That's what, 4 years?
Yep. 4 years.
That's bad. Because my mom's aunt, which is my great aunt, lived next door to me. Betty Smith. She lost her husband, lost her son, David. And from a year and the day apart from when her husband passed away, she passed away.
Mm.
Up there at Magnolia Home, her
Yeah.
place up there. Because that's where Tina and Teresa Smith used to put her. But she wasn't happy. And that was something I loved, sitting out on the porch. And them two get to arguing and fighting. You know Teresa.
Yeah.
It's just, they'd be out there arguing. You'd hear words you've never heard before in your life. And I mean, it didn't make a bit of sense. It's like, what was that she just said? And you're like trying to listen. But they would just at it all day long. because Bobby would do it just to make her mad. He knew he could do it. But that was some of the best times I had. If I heard them fighting, I wouldn't do nothing else until I finished out what they was doing.
Yeah, you got to hear all this. That's good entertainment.
Yeah.
I've got an aunt and uncle. They've lived out in the sticks all their life. They just moved back into town 6 months ago. And I'll stop up there and eat lunch or something, you know, or stop by on my way home from work or something. But I'll say just a little something to get him started, and then she's going to get started, and then I just sit back and don't say another word, you know. It's pretty good.
Because you know how to get it.
Yeah.
You know how to push them buttons.
It's pretty good. Maybe they won't need one of them watch this. They'll knock me in the head if they hear I said that.
They figured it out. And they ain't going to play that game no more.
Yeah. Well, Tony, you got anything else you'd like to share?
No, that's just tell everybody, look, there is life after death. Just stay if you think you're good. Rethink it.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to know where you're going. There is something after this.
Yeah.
And the people that don't think there is, y'all ain't heading to a good place.
No.
Because if you've got in your head there's nothing after this, there ain't no use for it.
Yeah,
You've got to think about that. Because what's inside the body is the spirit. Spirit's going to live on.
Yeah.
The body's not. You're just out there. They're able to roam unless they want to be free and they go home. But they're going back to a point in their life where they were most happy. And I'm just waiting to get to that point because I knew where I was happy.
Yeah. Well, folks, that's about going to wrap it up. I know got a verse, Philippians 2, verse 12. Says, wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation. Not anybody else's salvation, your own salvation with fear and trembling. We've got to answer for ourselves. We've got to take care of ourselves when it comes to our salvation. We got to make sure ours is right. You know, so
Take care of
anyway,
yourself first.
yeah. Appreciate y'all listening. Y'all have a good one.